Greece and ancient Greek medicine. World travels, traditions, cultures and celebrations. iMovie number 60, 2023. Classical to Roman to Hellenistic times defined ancient Greece. European civilization was born here in Athens, Greece 7,000 years ago. 2,500 years old Parthenon sits majestically on the top of Acropolis hill. Both Acropolis and Parthenon represent the political and cultural achievements of ancient Greek civilization. The adjacent agora or market formed the political heart of ancient Greece from 600 BC onwards. Here democracy was practiced in councils, courts and in open meetings. Socrates was indicted and adjudicated here in 399 BC. Central Greece was overflowing with ancient temples and monasteries, from sacred Delphi to dramatic Meteora peaks. Some of the first medieval monasteries in Greece, dating back as far as 9th century AC, sit on the top of massive sandstone hills and pinnacles called meteoras. The sights were simply out of this world. Santorini, heavenly Greek island. The sights of volcanic rock island Santorini, overflowing with multi-colored buildings, were spellbinding. From the top of Santorini, the sights of azure sky and emerald Aegean Sea were equally breathtaking. Greece has some 1,400 islands and has 10.4 million people. Time has stood still here in many of these islands for centuries. Hippocrates and ancient Greek medicine. Hippocrates is considered to be the founder of ancient Greek medicine. He explained the mechanism of illness in terms of imbalances of 4 basic humors of body: blood, phlegm, yellow and black bile. He wrote the Hippocratic Oath. He thoroughly observed, examined, studied and evaluated all his patients. Finally, he relied on the nature. Aristotle also believed that sports and gymnastics were essential to the development of human body. The combined findings of Hippocrates and Galen had an influence on surgical care practices of injuries and wounds until the Middle Ages. The works of Hippocrates are compiled under the title Corpus Hippocraticum. The collection was assembled in the 4th century BC at the Great Library of Alexandria, Egypt. Subjects included all medical fields, including therapeutic regimen, ethics and prognosis. The training system was by apprenticeship. Operations like tonsillectomy were performed at home. Treatment regimens consisted of diet, daily exercise and temperate behavior in eating, drinking and sleeping. Wounds were cared for and abscesses were incised and drained. The operative and orthopedic surgical care and prognostication skills achieved a high degree of sophistication in ancient Greece. Ancient Greek and Indian medical scholars were possibly or probably sharing that valuable fund of knowledge. Ancient Egyptian medicine had already advanced. the golden time which lasted from 500 to 338 BC. In 336 BC, Alexander the Great developed Greece into an imperial power with Macedonia at the center of the government. Ottoman Empire dominated Greece from 1453 AC to 1821 AC. Hitler occupied Greece for 4 years from 1941 to 1944. We toured the Epidaurus Theatre and the temple of Asclepius next door to it in Peloponnese. Both are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The theatre is considered to be the most perfect ancient Greek theatre with regards to acoustics and aesthetics. The theatre hosted music, singing, and dramatic games that were included in the worship of Asclepius. It was also used as a means to heal the patients, since there was a belief that observation of dramatic shows had positive effects on mental and physical health. Both the theatre and temples were important in the development and spread of healing sanctuaries called Asclepion throughout the classical antique world. Asclepius was a god of medicine, healing, rejuvenation, and physicians. The rod of Asclepius, a snake-entwined staff, remains a symbol of medicine today. Greek writers and philosophers. Ancient Greek literature, art, history, philosophy, and democracy are the solid foundations of Western civilization. Sculpture was one of the sophisticated forms of Greek art, which holds enormous influence on Western art throughout the centuries. Homer composed epic novels titled Iliad and Odyssey in 700 BC. Socrates was a model arbitrator and taught by debating his ideas. His pupil Plato set up an academy in Athens. Plato's pupil Aristotle had a genius for scientific observations. Aristotle's pupil was none other than Alexander the Great. Euclid laid rules of geometry. Of course, we all know the Pythagoras theorem. Ancient Olympic Games were started in Greece 2,750 years ago, back in 726 BC. The games continued for next 12 centuries until 393 AC. Philosophers like Socrates, Pythagoras, Plato, Aristotle, and even Hippocrates participated in these games. Modern Olympic Games started 129 years ago, back in 1896, in Athens, Greece. Written, narrated, and produced by Dr. M.S.Patil, M.D., Beyond the Shadow of Doubt, in the very heart of Chicago, Illinois, USA. Thank you kindly. December 2023.